but it was such a pain.
Oh,
It
no.
was such a pain.
Why?
The mustache! The mustache! I've told you about the mustache! Hello everyone, my name is David and welcome to the first episode of YoungStars, the show where I interview young Australian talent about their experiences working in film, theatre, stage, music, etc. But in reality, it's just me talking with my mates about our love for the creative arts industry. I hope you're all just as excited as I am for the very first episode of this series because we have quite the banger first episode for you guys today. But before all that, allow me to quickly introduce myself for those who may or may not know who I am. Well, firstly, my name is David Hatherly. I'm an actor, voice actor, award-winning filmmaker, singer, musician, and all-around creative individual. But, most importantly, I'll be your host for this brand new series. You may know me for my acting roles as Constable Davy in Heist, Rooster Hannigan in Annie Jr., Edmund Pevensey in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, David in The Strangeman's No Access Radio, and Josh in Mine. However, you probably know me best for my award-winning documentary, My Own 2 Feet, and my award-winning short film, Final Goal, as well as my work on Arca, Little Creature, True Purpose, Speak to Me, and many, many more. But enough about me, because we are joined by a very special guest, the incredibly talented Sophia Bate. Now, Sophia is a local Canberran actress who I've known for literally years. She's one of my closest friends and acting partners, as we have both worked together on several projects, both on stage and on screen. You might know Sophia for her roles as Miss Hannigan in Annie Jr., the White Witch in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Grisabelle, the Glamour Cat in Cats, King Arthur in Monty Python's Spamalot, Gangster in The Drowsy Chaperone, and Sister Sophia in The Sound of Music. In today's episode, we talk about Sophia's experience as an actress whilst reminiscing about primary school and high school. We talk about the fun of playing villains, her decision to become a makeup artist, and most importantly, our personal experiences as disabled actors. Now, before we begin, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into the very first episode of YoungStars. I really do appreciate it. If this is your first time listening to the podcast and you like what you hear, please consider following the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast fix. If you're watching the YouTube video, then consider subscribing so you don't miss an episode, as well as any future projects of mine. Okay, with that being said, let's dive on into the episode with Sophia. Just give it a couple of seconds. We're just going to let it play for a second. Just hear the audio. If you want to speak as well.
What up? The first thing I say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Sophia. How
Hello.
are you doing?
How are you doing? I'm good.
It's exciting. First episode.
I'm so pumped, man. I'm excited to see what all these episodes are about. And
Yeah, because like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I wanted you to be the very first guest because we've known each other a long time.
we have since high school. Like probably longer.
Before then.
Primary school?
Yeah, primary school, year 5, I'd say.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
I think our parents knew your parent. Like, my
Yeah.
parents knew your parents before then, but
Yeah.
I didn't know you as much. I remember there's a photo of you and my sister in the preschool playground.
Yeah.
But that was like,
That would have been so long ago. Hey,
yeah,
that's crazy.
but that was, I think, before I properly knew about you and all that.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for over a decade now.
Literally, I know. How weird is that? How crazy is that?
Damn.
Man,
That's still...
back to the high school days.
I know. It's strange to think that it has been like
That long.
a decade since, because I remember the first time meeting you wasn't actually at school.
Yeah.
It was down at Bateman's Bay at the Macca's.
That's so true. I remember walking to that Macca's. I was like, wait.
Yeah, and my parents and I and my sister, we were down there just borrowing, the...
Yeah.
I might just censor that because name drop.
Yeah, exactly. No, James.
But we were borrowing their holiday house, and
Yeah.
we ran into each other at the Macca's, and your parents tell you, "Oh, you're going to come to our school now." I was like, "That's insane!"
It's like off to the Mayos.
And since then, we've become pretty good friends. You're quite the creative individual.
You are too.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and all that. So
Yeah, well, I've grown up my whole life not really sure what I wanted to do, but when I was about 12, I was like, oh, acting, might give that thing a go. But it actually all started in school. So I was probably in like grade 6, and we did a classic Joseph and the Technicolor coat, and we remember that.
It wasn't even called that. It was just Joseph.
Yeah, it was like just Joseph. They switched the name.
It was basically Joseph and
basically
the multicolored.
that. For anyone who doesn't know, it was that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I remember the auditions were so bad, like so bad. Like then I don't know how they cast me. It was so bad.
Because the year prior we had done Prince and the Pauper,
Yeah.
and I auditioned for the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Right.
Yeah, I only had one line.
Yeah,
I had
know.
to repeat that line twice.
Oh mate, it's so funny. But yeah, I don't know how it happened. Like I just remember I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna get cast." Like it
Really?
was hopeless. And what happened was this girl just dropped out last minute, and she was like, "I'm moving school." I don't know if you remember.
Oh no!
I don't know her
don't.
name, but she moved to like Brindabella or something,
Oh no!
and they ended up putting me in.
Oh.
That's how I got the role.
Okay, so that's how you got
So I was
Potiphar's
like-
wife.
Yeah, so I literally go home with like all these lines highlighted. Mum's like, "What the heck? How do you have so many lines?" And I was like,
Because how many scenes were you in? Like,
oh no, it was quite a few
Yeah,
because
'cause-
it was like all the ones with Potiphar. I was there
Yeah.
at the house, so it's like,
I mainly had, because I was one of the brothers. I was Gad.
yeah,
So I had mainly a lot of the boys. I had Seb. I had Darcy. I had all those people.
oh hell yeah.
But like, I remember that role being a lot of fun because I got to play the dumb character
Yeah.
who was
Bro.
obsessed with chicken.
What is it, like dumb characters and villains are so funny. Right.
Yeah, but, like that was 2015.
Yeah,
And
that's wild.
okay, who did I get a message from? I'm gonna turn off my phone. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that is really rude.
Interruptions,
Yeah.
disrespectful.
But yeah,
But yeah, 2015. Hey,
yeah.
that's right. That's so wild.
And you would say that is the time that you kind of felt where acting kind of started for you?
Yeah, that was the first time I was actually on stage in front of people. And I was such a shy kid. Like anyone who knew me, I don't think you probably wouldn't have known me before then. But before like any of the acting stuff, I was like a whole different person. Like I was so shy. I would never put my hand up in class. I would never talk to anyone. And acting really turned me into me.
I mean, yeah, because I shared a year 5. I don't think I shared year 6 with you.
No, we were probably because we split the
Yeah,
class.
they had split
That's
classes.
true.
So I think
But year 5.
yeah. But even then, we were friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I actually kind of think you were quite a shy person. You didn't speak a lot.
I didn't, yeah.
But it is interesting to think that in high school, that I think it's kind of where the idea for drama for us, high school, middle school, it's so
Yeah.
different now.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever it's called now.
Literally.
Like for us, we're just going to refer to high school,
High
but
school.
Just for context, it is probably middle school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, because we grew up at a time, the school we went to, they had preschool, primary school, and then high school.
And no college.
No. They did but then I think it was year 9 for us where they had middle school year 6 to 8 was
Yeah, I think so.
middle school.
I think so, yeah. 6 to 8 and then
Yeah.
9, 10 would be.
Yeah, I think during that high school time, that was kind of the period you got into acting because we both did drama class together. We did.
Yo, that was the best time ever. Drama class.
Yeah, I think but I think more of I think it was more 2018 where
Yeah, probably.
definitely that kind of era because
Yeah,
after 2018 you went to different school. You went
I
to
did.
performing arts
I
school.
did. It was so good.
Explain, like we'll go back to like our experiences later on.
Yeah.
But what was it like moving from like our school to a performing arts school where there was a lot more, where it was all just acting based and all that kind of stuff. But it was more or less you still had normal like English, math classes, didn't you?
Yeah. So it was very different. So you go from like being in a very much a physical school, which is like, you know, you're physically in your class. You've got a teacher there. You can raise your hand. You can ask questions. You know, it's more of a practical side to online schooling. So I went straight from that to in year 10, I did distance education. So I would literally just be on my laptop, doing all my schoolwork, doing my English, doing my maths, whatnot, in a classroom full of people doing the same thing, all just on our laptops. And then in the afternoons, we would go off and do like acting classes, like movement classes, some dance, some this. But yeah, it was such a great time. And it worked really well for me because online schooling, I was just so determined to do acting. I just smashed through all my schoolwork and I was like, let's go acting.
Yeah, I definitely be, if I knew who I was back then,
Yeah.
I would definitely be like, I want to do acting as well. But I don't think I would have done well with the online learning because I would have been
Yeah.
because at that time I was focusing on wanting to become a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Big mistake that was. I mean, I'm not going to say, like, I don't hate my original YouTube channel. Like,
Yeah.
I think still doing that as, like, a hobby
You live
now.
and you learn.
But then, like, it did change a lot of, like, my learning, especially in year 9 and 10. But yeah, it was so upsetting when you left, because you're like one of the longest people in the class at that point. Like, there's people that I've known in that class since the beginning.
Yeah.
But you were at that point of, like, coming 5 years, 5
probably.
years.
Probably, yeah.
And then just left to go to acting school.
Yeah, literally.
And, like, you did that for 3 years?
Yeah, for 3 years. I did acting school. So I got a year 12 certificate, and I came out the other end graduating year 12 with a certificate for an advanced diploma in stage and screen acting.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I mean, I only got a Cert 3 at college, so...
Yeah.
But that was still fun for me.
Yeah, 100%.
But another thing is just... Because during that time, I don't know what... Because your highest... Like, for us, our college period was 2020.
Yeah.
Like, we had the whole 2020, 2021...
Yeah.
Like, period. And did that affect classes in any way? Like, especially online?
Like the lockdown and the... Oh, 100%. 100%. It was so funny. Like, it was definitely hard, but it's also funny, like, when you think of it. So, going back, we had to go all online. Like, everyone was in lockdown. Everyone was, like, in-house and whatnot. And we had to do acting online, which you can only imagine what that would be like, right?
Oh, I can imagine that. Delays. Like, this, like, I had to do... In college, we did Away, and we did an entire reading of the play over Zoom, which... actually turned out not too bad, but it did feel a bit delayed at certain points, with some people's internet dropping out or some people's mics not being picked up.
Yeah, literally. I feel like you spent so much of that year just like, mics aren't working, I can't hear you, like I can't see you. But yeah, we spent like a lot of that time just doing like movement classes online. Like I'd be doing yoga in the living room just with my laptop. Like, it was like, what in the heck?
What? You've been doing yoga?
Yeah, we have a movement teacher who loves yoga.
Okay, but like, you didn't get to do like performances during that period, did you?
We actually did. We did.
You?
So we did one online performance.
Oh.
Completely online. So we had a directing class. This was in our advanced diploma. And we did all of it online.
Oh,
and we literally, even if we went back to class, we were like, had to like keep distance, because you have to keep like the 0.5 distance. And it was so funny. We're all just spread around like this acting school with our laptops. Acting, not even looking at people. So you had to like get your eye lines to look the right way. So you looked at the person, and I was like, oh, stop.
What? So you had to like turn to your left
when there's no one there. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that would have been annoying. But like, it was. I think late 2020, there wasn't much of a COVID spike during that for us.
No.
So I was able to perform like a musical, but then like 2021, just as we were going to go into our production week for Away, that's when we went to the second lockdown.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, but I was so lucky because I had my birthday just a few days before we went back, remember?
That's so good, eh?
Yeah, that was
lucky.
I was so lucky because, but I was a bit disappointed because at the time there was also like, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad who came out, and I was really excited to see that. Didn't get to go
Couldn't
see
go.
it.
Oh, I know. Man, lockdown was such a crazy time.
Yeah, I think 2021's lockdown
was worse.
Impacted more. Like the first time we knew that we'd go into it straight away. Like, yes, it was 8 weeks to. Like,
I think it was 8 weeks. It was quite a while. It felt like a long time.
But I think we all get adjusted, and then like COVID dipped down in 2020, and then it seemed like fine. 2021, it's like late 2021, it spiked to the point like we didn't have to wear masks late 2020 as much, but 2021 we had to wear masks a lot, even during Away. Like if you weren't performing like we could decide not to wear the masks backstage, but like
it's a social distance, and like it was such a wild time. Like I remember walking in after COVID to our acting school, and everyone was like, you had to stay far apart, like you couldn't sit in the same couch, and like, whoa, it was like weird. Everyone's wearing masks, and like I was like, what is this?
And I mean that kind of affects like acting wise, because you do a lot of physical acting. You're a dancer, singer,
and like your facial expression, right? Like that's covered by mask. It's like yeah, which
is difficult, because I always say, like, people say the face is one of the most expressive parts of the body. You can do a lot of physicality with your arms and such, but your face is what brings the emotion.
100%.
So that entire time with COVID, it would have been like a pain. In the butt. Absolute pain in the butt for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we got through it, and I still got my diploma and my Cert 4, so survived.
And then afterwards, what? Because there was a point where you didn't go to uni. You went.
No, I never went to uni.
Did you go to CIT?
I did like some study the year after. So year after acting, I was like contemplating my life, because as an actor, you kind of think, okay, like cool, I've got study in acting, I'm qualified. What do I do? Because I have no stable job, which I think every actor kind of goes through that, because it's like you contemplate your whole life, like, yes, I can full send it and just go for this acting job. I can get an agent, I can move, like whatever it is. But the reality is you don't have money to support yourself and you need a solid job. So I was like, what can I do? So I ended up studying a year of makeup and got a diploma in screen and media makeup. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good thing to have as an actor as well, because I'm also a filmmaker and like I knew acting was going to be a career I wanted to pursue, but it's also not a completely functional one. Like you said, it's 100%. Hard to find a lot of jobs and just finding stuff that will get you paid. You can do a lot of like local stuff that will promote you and get you that like update to your CV and all that, but it doesn't, whilst that's fun, and I highly recommend for people to do like theatre jobs or even just apply for
100%.
film shoots, it doesn't pay.
It doesn't.
So doing that makeup course, that must have been a lot of fun, because I was like, interesting you chose makeup, because I didn't see you to do like kind of interest in makeup. So
yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm like a creative of all trades, if that's even a phrase, but like I find like creativity in lots of things. I love cooking at home sometimes, loved drawing growing up, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of was deciding between hair and makeup, and I chose makeup. Because there was no way I was doing a 4-year apprentice for no reason.
Yeah, and you work with you did like prosthetic work and such. So
yeah, we did special effects. It was so much fun.
What was like some of the difficulties of doing makeup?
I think it's tricky being confident on your own. I think that's why I struggled with after. So I studied for a year, and you get like kind of a base knowledge for everything, but not enough so that like you can go out straight away and do it. So makeup is like one of those things where you have to be like an assistant makeup artist for a few years before you can get on your own feet, sort of thing. Because there's always so much to learn, because it's such a broad like art. But yeah, I didn't even do much for the first year after that, but now I'm sort of in the process of maybe working with a makeup artist and hopefully getting on TV, film sets, and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just about finding what alley of makeup you like.
You haven't found opportunities to do makeup for like local short films?
Oh, there's a few around, I guess, and you can ask around. But yeah, it's more so if they'll take on an assistant and not like a full makeup artist.
We could have actually needed you as an assistant on Arca, but again, that was at a busy time, and I don't think you would have been available for
that's right. Yeah. But yeah.
Another thing is that interests me is because like I saw like the makeup stuff. I'm just gonna keep it with the makeup.
Yeah.
I saw like most of your prosthetic stuff, and it reminded me just of like the prosthetic I had. I've shown you this.
Yeah, you showed me that. Yeah.
I was just like, it must be so difficult for you to make like fake cuts or like the blood and such, because we used a lot of that on Arca just to bring a lot of the prosthetic work to life, but it was also a lot of waste in like money and such.
No, 100%. Yeah, most of the assessments we did were like 2 hours, 3 hours of just standing up doing makeup on a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, but lots of fun.
Yeah,
very rewarding. So
I kind of want to just backtrack, because we went on like a tangent about makeup and such.
COVID,
but I think that's kind of like the point, because like it kind of like having a separate job from acting, but like it's interesting to think that if we didn't have like, it's hard to say.
I know what you mean. Acting it's messy. You kind of jump around here and there, get a little job here, get a little job there.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's also like Canberra itself. It's small. We don't get many big film opportunities, which will change in the future, of course. Like with
100%.
all the stuff that's recently been filmed here, like some of the stuff at ABC and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
But we also, it really sucks because you either have to move to Sydney, Melbourne, or even the Gold Coast just to be on a film set. And has that ever crossed your mind? Because you actually had an audition like last year for something. Did you have to go to Adelaide or Melbourne?
Yeah, it was Adelaide. Yeah, I think ever since I started enjoying acting and stuff, 100%, it was on my mind. I was like, I got to get out of Canberra. And I think a lot of actors in Canberra think that as well, because it is tricky. There's not much here, and not much stuff comes here as well. Like it's mostly just we're building our own kind of industry in Canberra. So it definitely crossed my mind, and I wanted to leave several times, but yeah, you really got to think it through. And I'm still young. I'm 20 years old. I got plenty of life ahead of me. So, but yes, I did do an audition for the University of Adelaide last year and tried to get into a Bachelor of Musical Theatre and did not get in. I did not make the cut.
Yeah. I was so like, I was rooting for you.
Yeah.
Like my mom told me that. I was like, I'm rooting for you because you absolutely deserve it. And then it just stung because, yeah, that's kind of the hardship of auditioning for things. Like you go in like expecting to get in, but you're also just like, there's that little bit in your head. You're just like, if I don't get in, that's fine. If they find someone who is just as talented, that's okay.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Because I had an audition recently where it was for voiceover stuff, and
awesome.
I auditioned for the lead role, and the director said, like, oh, I'm really torn between like you and this other person. They went with the other person, which fair enough, but they really wanted to keep me on that project because they were just like, yours was really good as well, but it didn't really exactly fit the character. Character, so they made me play the detective, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, sick! That's so good.
Yeah, but like you said, Canberra is small, but there is plenty of opportunities.
Networking.
Here, yeah.
Man, that's the way to go, networking.
Yeah. Have you like applied to do short films? Because apart from the ones like I asked you to join, of course.
Yeah. I did some with AIE with David, but yeah, I'm always like looking out. Like I follow all the stuff on Facebook, all the little auditions, and like follow everything. I'm gonna be in a film soon, probably just as an extra.
Yeah.
A couple of days on set. So yeah, I still get involved in stuff in Canberra.
Absolutely, because it will be a way for good, like you said, networking. Really good thing.
That's right.
But it's also just like, would you say you're more of a film actor or you say more theater actor? Because I see both. I say I'm more theater voice actor, but I'm learning how to do more screen, and I think I'm doing pretty good so far.
100%. I think I grew up and definitely still have a love for musical theater and live theater. But there's also a part of me that does love screen. So I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, I'll do whatever.
Yeah. Do you always feel like you're limiting yourself on screen, though?
Not really. I guess it's just a very different way of acting, isn't it? Like, stage and screen. Stage is very much your physicality, big movements, like all that sort of stuff. And then screen is all about those tiny little moments and, whatnot. But yeah.
I mean, like, would you say, like, Miss Hannigan was kind of more physical? Like,
oh, yeah. Oh yeah, like all the villains are very physical. They're very wild, very out there.
Would you say she's like one of your favorite characters you've played?
Oh yeah, she was lots of fun. I mean, hey, like who wants to like yell at kids for like 2 hours?
just yell
let
at
it out.
Hey, you kids, get over there and shut up.
Literally, that was like one of the lines. I like I'm not even kidding. One time my mic, like literally something happened and it didn't work, and they're like, "Sorry, man, like." We're just going to have to give your mic to like someone else or get it fixed. Yeah, and I did it without a mic.
But at the time, you had a pretty loud voice.
I know, I was like yelling. I was like...
Yeah, so let's go back to that because this is kind of what we were going to talk about earlier. 2018 was probably the biggest year for both of us acting-wise. Yeah. Because we had not only one massive production that took us all year, but we had a more high school production that was like, didn't take as long to prep.
100%.
But it was a lot more, but it was just as fun.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
Yeah, and that year, we both played villains.
Oh, yeah.
I played an anti-hero in Edmund, I'd say.
Yeah.
In the first Nunny, he's more of an anti-hero. He's a villain at first, but he becomes more of an anti-hero, and then later...
Bit of a villain, and then gets better.
Yeah. Then Prince Caspian, proper hero.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, but that year, we both played villains, and I gotta be honest, it was some of the most fun ever.
Always get a kick out of playing a villain. Like,
because do you remember when they announced they were doing Annie?
I think I do.
It was the end of...
Was it end of year 8 or was it...
It was the end of year 8.
Yeah,
the final assembly, they announced they were doing a whole school production of Annie. And I was just like, oh. At first I was like, oh, okay. That's cool, but it's a whole school production.
Yeah.
Which...
You never know what that's going to be. Like,
yeah. But it didn't mean like all the classes together. It just meant like people who wanted to audition.
Yeah. 100%.
Was actually really good. So I auditioned. I was like, I wanted to go for Warbucks because I felt like I could play the father figure. Ended up getting Rooster.
Hell yeah.
I think it was a better choice.
100%.
To be completely honest.
I agree.
Because there wasn't that many boys who auditioned.
I know. No.
If there was, like, from all the people who auditioned, like, I think I brought the most energy to
Do you remember your audition? What did you have to do?
For me?
Yeah.
So I did Anything But You for the song, and then I had to
yeah.
do the Piper line,
Hell yeah.
but monologue. But I think with the Piper monologue, I went a little bit more sinister on the final line, so I think that's kind
Yeah,
of what
right.
gave them the idea for me to play Rooster.
They're like, this man's cheeky.
I mean, I kind of was, and
Yeah.
I was quite the cheeky
Oh, yeah.
cheeky child. But what about for you? What did you have to do for your audition?
Oh, yeah. I remember going in, and I think it was like me and then another girl who also wanted to do Miss Hannigan. And I did like some like Alice in Wonderland monologue that they gave us.
Yeah.
And then I just sang Little Girls from like Annie.
Yeah.
And I was like, loved
But
it.
you got the callback as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was the call. Because they had the was it the musical audition first, and then they had
Maybe.
callbacks for doing
yeah.
the monologue and such.
I think it was something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember being in a small room with like the little panel and like whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was your reaction to getting in the role?
I was so excited. And I also got to share the role with someone else. So we had like 2 different casts.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that also kind of made some conflict because yes, 2 separate casts is great and all,
Yeah.
but that does mean that you don't play the character every single night.
Yeah.
Like, that works
that's the
for
downside. Yeah.
for some of the actors, like for people who played Annie,
Mm.
absolutely makes sense because
Oh, yeah.
both the people who play Annie
And
were
both younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
But
Wow,
then
it was so good.
yeah, I had a blast like because at first I wasn't really sure about because I didn't know much about the Annie story. Like I
Yeah.
think I had watched like the 2014 film,
Oh, still.
but that film kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. I like the original.
And then like I was like, okay, who's like Rooster Hannigan? It's like, and I didn't really know much. And then it's like, oh, he's the villain.
Oh.
I was like, okay, I'm playing a villain. Like I never thought I could play a villain.
Yeah. Surprise yourself even. Yeah, I grew up on Annie. I like watched that show like it was a religion. Like I was just, my sister hated it. She was like, "Can you stop? Like I hate like movie musicals." And I was like, "No, let's watch Annie again."
Oh yeah, that would be like me with like Cars or like probably Cars majority of the time. We
Yeah.
just be like watching Cars, the original Cars or
Fair.
Cars 2.
Fair
Like-
though, that was a good movie.
Yeah, but again, we spent a lot of time working together because you didn't do any of the ensemble stuff. You just stayed
Yeah.
as Miss Hannigan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm very happy that I got to play Rooster as I did,
100%.
but it was such a pain.
Oh
It
no.
was such a pain. 'Cause
Why?
The mustache! The mustache! I've told you about the mustache!
Yeah, that was so
The
good.
amount of times, like, during the performances, okay, for context, I had to wear a fake mustache as Rooster. And the problem is, when you're under hot lights and you got makeup on your lip,
Oh no.
you have to, like, and it doesn't stick properly. We don't have, like, replacement mustaches
I
that
know.
look similar. I had to use the same mustache. Oh, sorry. I had to use the same mustache for several shows.
Surely
And-
we just threw it on. Surely.
and because that was at the time when like I had like little hairs on my
I remember
thing.
that.
Yeah, and I was like, I could just use this. It's like, no,
They're
use
like,
a mustache.
not
No, no.
acceptable.
It's like so many times during the show, you would see me like stroking
Yeah.
like I'm thinking to myself, no, it's me sticking in the mustache.
Oh no. Like the things we do for live theatre.
Yeah, but I mean, even during rehearsals, because there were several times that we weren't even in class, like especially
Yeah.
to the.
Man, that's the best part. I was like, get me out of class.
No, but we did miss out quite a few bits a couple
Yeah.
of times. Like, I remember, I think this was late,
Yeah.
closing to performance week.
Yeah.
With the whole with the actor for Warbucks getting
Yeah.
extremely sick, and I'm like,
Oh,
we had no
yeah.
understudy.
That was stressful.
I don't know why they never had an
I
understudy
don't
for
know.
them.
Yeah, because everyone else had like 2 people for every role.
I think except for Roosevelt and Warbucks were the only 2.
Yeah, the only 2
actors.
that didn't. Yeah.
Which I was just like.
That's a shame though, that like the one person that got sick is the one
Yeah,
person without an understudy.
especially like really close to production. Like there were
Yeah.
several times that we couldn't do the scenes because we didn't have him. So
Yeah.
I remember specifically we were doing NYC and I talked to our teacher, Mrs. Breeze.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want me to step in for Warbucks because I know the lyrics to NYC? And she was like, yes, please, just for now. And then afterwards, like we did the whole scene and that was a lot of fun. Afterwards, she came up to me and was like, hey, can you be able to fill in for Warbucks
oh
until
dang.
Yeah.
Man, what is the stress level you felt at that point? You're like,
I was just like, okay. But I was also just like, it wasn't what I was gonna expect because at the same time, we were really close. We had yeah. And so there were 2 days where I missed out on class completely.
Yeah.
Just to learn all the choreography, all the lines, all the songs. And
that's crazy.
It was insane. Like, I had just as much fun playing Warbucks that when we got close to production week, to the performance week, I didn't get to do a single performance, which kind of sucked.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's like, I mean, shout out to all like the swings. The swings are like the people in like musical theatre who have to learn like 6-7 roles at a time and just jump on and be ready to go.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
Crazy.
I mean, if it was a Broadway show, they would definitely have that.
They would.
Again, we didn't have that many boys in the cast. We had I think 8 or so.
Yeah, like, it wasn't many yet. Definitely majority girls and then handful of boys.
Because like, again, not many boys at the school were interested in drama as much as I was.
Yeah, that's it.
And the other people who were, they either had other roles or just didn't
feel confident enough to take it on last minute. But yeah.
But that 100%. Was all. But even I forget about the Warbucks stuff. But like the whole working together as Rooster and Miss Hannigan.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so much
extremely
fun.
A lot of fun. Like doing Easy Street and like the whole planning stuff.
It was so fun. All the rehearsals in the gym, like, it was so good.
And all the bits we improvised as well.
Literally, just like mucking around in rehearsals, like, it's so good.
Like me going, true when you say like, what's the line in the song? In the song,
Oh, in
the little brat.
Life. Yeah.
Like I say true, and then it's like, like all that kind of stuff.
Literally, it's so fun.
That was kind of, and then. Again, we had Edmund and you had the White Witch.
I did.
Narnia for the high school bit.
Yo, I was wearing like an op-shop wedding dress for that. That was vibes.
But that was a lot of fun too because we didn't know we were going to do that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that either. I was like, dang, like it just came out of nowhere. And
it was semester 2.
Yeah, because that was our drama class.
Yes, that was the drama class.
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh, that's exciting. That is because like because up to the point we didn't have. Did they have a high school production the previous year?
I don't remember them having one though. I think
it was like
they might have, but I don't remember it as much as the school production.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone remembers like Annie and like the school musical, but like not the drama class.
Like the high school drama.
Yeah, literally.
I don't think they promoted as much.
Yeah, probably not.
But it was super exciting to play again villains.
So fun.
But what was different between playing Miss Hannigan and the White Witch?
I think Miss Hannigan is much more. I mean, look, let's be honest. She's kind of drunk. This lady. She's like, she's real loose. This one, but Miss Hannigan's more like chill and just really kind of wobbly, kind of wild. Her personality. Whereas, I don't know, the White Witch is very much like, I am queen. You must listen to me. Like very, very much demeanor.
Yeah,
I don't know, that kind of demeanor. But yeah, more powerful.
I feel like the White Witch is more straightforward, more serious face.
100%.
Not as physical. But I think when you get into the more anger side, she's terrifying.
She's more violent in her emotions,
I mean, Miss Hannigan can be violent.
Oh, yeah.
But it's more like a verbal violence.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a slapping a child.
Yeah, that's it. Damn, child. Poor kid.
Just a heads up, YoungStars does not promote...
Disclaimer.
Yeah. We do not promote child violence.
Please do not try this at home.
But yeah, that's... Well, that whole time, because I remember doing Lion the Witch of the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I remember being super excited because I got to eat Turkish delight on stage.
I literally, I was like, mate, this guy, he doesn't want to play Edmund. He just wants to eat food.
No, because like I loved Edmund. Like even when because we didn't have to audition, we were just like,
I know, that
who
was
wants
so
to play
good.
what? I was like, I want to be Edmund because I was like, Edmund's fun. Like I can't play Peter because he's too serious. Like he's more the leader.
Edmund's fun because he crosses. Like his character just switches and flips.
Exactly. It's just like I want to play a character that was similar to Rooster because I think that we were still doing Annie at the time. But
I think we were. I think it was towards the end or something. Yeah.
And then like, but that was such a fun experience because again, it was such a small class.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was do you remember Isaac having to play? Hang on, who's the character? Because I have the script.
Was it
the professor having to play the professor?
Oh my goodness!
And then having to play Mr. McCready.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing Santa. He also played Santa as
Sorry.
well.
He played 3 roles at once.
Yeah, like that was like it was just so funny because
so
every
funny.
time you'd yell from back, you'd hear like this 15
Quick costume change.
this like 15-year-old
Yeah.
boy
Yeah.
doing a female voice. I'm just like, that is so funny.
It's like Shakespeare back in the day.
Yeah, because then again we had like so many of the other but it was also combined with the year sixes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
oh no, it was so good, hey. And like we had like our little set, like our little like
Yeah.
it was so tiny.
It was so tiny, but it actually did limit the performance, especially at some of the scenes because like the stuff in like the house, in the
Yeah.
professor's house,
Yeah.
they had the curtains closed, so we
That's
had
sweet.
like limited amount of space on that stage.
Yeah, 100%. But remember the sleigh?
That's like
Wasn't that like a couple of chairs on like
yeah, it was, and then like a
Oh,
cardboard
no.
cutout as well.
it was so sketchy, but it looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing was because like back to Annie,
Mm.
it must have been a pain for you and who was it who played Lily? It wasn't Mia. It was Lene.
Lene.
Yeah, because it must have been a pain because my understudy was much shorter than I am
That was so funny.
because he was in year 5 at the time,
Yeah.
and bless him, Michael's great, but he's extremely short. And just for context, Sophia is tall.
I'm
She is
6'3", everyone,
yeah,
for
she's
reference.
insanely tall, and having to perform Easy Street with this small,
so funny.
so small. Like you were afraid that it wouldn't work if I had to actually play Warbucks.
Yeah, literally. I know, but that was funny though. Like, I literally have the video still, and like, I just watched it back. I'm like, man, the height difference, like, it's so
Yeah.
funny.
I'm thankful, like again, because Michael he could match my energy, but
yeah,
I'm happy he was part of the other cast
100%,
as well.
100%.
But it must have been a pain for it, like because he is a lot smaller. But
Oh yeah,
I mean, he probably would have worked with Mia. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think you would. Yeah, 100%.
definitely not with you.
Yeah. Oh no.
'Cause how does that like? How does often do people mistake in your height and such?
Mistaking it as in like, just like point it out or just
Yeah.
like.
Like, because a lot of people, when they see you, do they feel like, what sports do you play?
Oh,
It's like,
100%, 100%, 150%. No, yeah, people do it to me all the time. And I worked as a waitress for like 2 years, and the amount of customers were like, "Oh my gosh, do you play basketball? Like, do you play?" I was like, "No." This one dude was like interrogating me. He was
Oh.
like, "Do you play basketball?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Do you play netball?" And I was like, "No." He's like, Do you swim? Do you do this?" And I was like, "Hold your horses, man. I don't play sport. Okay, I'm just out here acting, trying to make a living." So,
so, like, I would, if I had never known you,
Yeah.
and I would have seen your height, like, yeah, I would have mistaken you for like someone who plays sports, and like, especially netball or basketball.
yeah.
I love it how in your bio on Instagram it literally says, "I'm not a basketball player."
It's not on there because
Yeah.
otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. No, but
yeah,
it's funny.
like, because your height isn't exactly like genetic, isn't it?
No, it's not genetic.
It's-
That's like that's the part of the second part of the disability that no one knows.
Yeah. So could you explain, like, because we're both actors with disabilities.
Yeah.
And like the height, because I don't know much about your physical disabilities,
Yeah.
or your experience with them.
Yeah,
So can you kind of elaborate what your disabilities are and like,
Yeah.
all that?
100%. Well, the main disability I have was I was born completely like profoundly deaf in my left ear, so there's no hearing whatsoever. So like your cochlea, you have 2 cochlears in your either ear has 1 cochlear, and one side does not have one at all. So there's no hearing aid, no cochlear implant, nothing they can do that to fix that. So I'm just completely deaf in that ear for the rest of my life, which is fine. I've grown up like that. And then the other disability that no one really knows is called Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome, which is basically a disability, but it's an overgrowth syndrome, like an enlargement syndrome. So that is where the height comes from, not from my parents, not from anywhere else. So I literally look adopted. Like I'm telling you, when I walk around the mall, I literally look. So I have red hair, everyone. So I literally a 6'3" redhead girl walking in public with my parents and my sister, who are so short compared to me. And like they just have like red, like she just has like blonde hair, my sister, and then like my dad and mum just have brown hair. So I'm like, what is this? Am I
Yeah.
adopted? Like.
Yeah, like. But like the height, when did that kind of kick in? Like the whole growth thing, was that from a very young age, or
It
was
was,
that?
yeah, it was probably from a pretty young age. Like, I don't remember as a kid being like, oh, like, I'm so tall. I eventually, obviously, yes,
Yeah.
I realized it as I got older. But yeah, like, I was also, like, just very strong as well. Like, as a kid, like, as a 3-year-old, I would literally pull myself, my own body weight out of the pool.
Really?
Just my parents would just be like, "What the heck is this child on?" Like, but yeah. So,
I can just imagine a little tiny Sophia like out of the
can you
water.
imagine all the parents like, "What the heck is this child?"
It's just like, here, sweetie, let me help you. No, I've got this
Yo,
one.
I got this, bro. Bro,
Exactly.
turns into a muscle.
Yeah,
muscle.
it's like that is so interesting to think. Because I remember even meeting you when you were younger.
Yeah,
You were much taller than me, and
I was.
we know some tall people.
Oh, yeah.
In our class, there were quite a few tall people, but I would say I was one of the shortest, especially in the boys. I was
Yeah.
one of the shortest for a while.
Yeah,
But that didn't help because I'm also born with a disability. But instead of
Yeah.
Sophia's height disability,
I'm
of
massive.
death, I have a walking disability called
Yeah.
foot drop or drop foot.
Yep.
Which basically means I don't walk heel to toe.
Mm.
It's just on my left leg. It's not my right.
But how was that for you? Like growing up in school and stuff. Like how did it affect you?
Well, yeah, because remember you saw a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
You saw
yeah.
me wear the sock. You saw me wear the AFO.
Yeah.
But at the during those times, I didn't really care. It was just something I had to wear. But I think
Yeah.
high school kind of kicked in where I was very insecure. Where I was like,
yeah.
I want to be normal.
Mm.
I hate the fact that I'm wearing this giant thing.
Yeah. I feel that.
Which is kind of why my documentary, My Own 2 Feet, was
That was
so
such a good
important.
documentary.
Yeah.
You guys need to go watch that.
Because that was the first time I had ever opened up about myself, fully.
Yeah.
I had tell people that it's okay to be different, but I never truly told the story about how I truly felt during that time period, especially even to my parents. I don't think I've ever told.
Yeah,
them
I think
about
no
that.
one even talks about that in high school. Just the self-consciousness that everyone has. Yeah.
And even as an actor, I'm always concerned about my disability being
Mm.
am I able to get roles because of it?
Yeah.
And I think even for you, because would you find roles? Would your height go towards finding roles difficult?
100%. I mean, even when I was in high school, I literally got cast as a villain. That is Exhibit A, right there. All the tall people with tall and height equals power. Anywhere, it's a TV show, it's a movie, whatever it is you're watching, you see a tall person, chances are they're a villain. And
Yeah.
chances are they have a high power. So yeah, you will probably definitely get stereotyped in that way. 100%. But yeah, it hasn't affected me too much, but it's definitely an adjustment. You still have to adjust every day to the fact that I'm just over everyone's heads.
Yeah, but I think to you, because a lot of people didn't see a disability, they saw mine.
Yeah.
That didn't really give you didn't really feel that insecure. Would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, it's still definitely been a journey with my height. I wasn't you got to think about it. I was just a teenager, and I was like, "What the heck? Why do I not look like anyone else?" And because it's also not my parents. My parents aren't tall. They're also a lot shorter than me. I literally kept growing. I was still growing in college. So even after I left your school and you wouldn't have seen me, I was still getting taller.
Yeah.
And I literally only just figured out I was 6'3", maybe a year ago. So I literally just kept growing, and I was like, "What the heck?" All these girls and all these guys just stopped growing, and I'm still going, and I was just a giant.
I mean, do you think you'll keep growing?
Nah,
Not as much as.
I'm 6'3". We're stuck here.
Yeah, I think you'll some people do have late growth spurts.
Oh, yeah.
For going for puberty stuff, but
100%.
if your disability kept growing, because you might get a little bit taller every so often, but I don't
Maybe,
think.
but probably not.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get that much taller than
Yeah.
3.
No, your height, I mean, it's the same as everyone else. Yes, because of the syndrome, I am taller, but it doesn't mean I'll keep growing. It just means I am genuinely taller than
Yeah.
other people.
I also think because with my walking disability, my left leg is slightly shorter than my right. So again, because it goes flat, doesn't go flat. It goes on its toes a lot.
Yeah.
It does mean my height is a little bit unbalanced.
Yeah.
And I'm always so concerned that that's what people are gonna when I audition for
People
a film.
look at that, yeah.
People are gonna see that and be like, he's not the right. He's got the talent for it, but he's not the right person to play it because he's unable. And I hate that. I hate being that kind of discrimination between able actors and disabled actors.
100%. And I 100% felt that in the past couple of years. Because the other thing to do with that Becker-Threeman syndrome is because it's an enlargement syndrome, I was born with an enlarged tongue. So my tongue was so massive. I could literally get it under my chin. It was hanging out of my mouth ever since I was a baby. And it created gaps in my teeth. And there's a whole lifetime story about that we're not going to go into.
Don't wanna go into
yeah, that's right.
Tongue experience.
Yeah, tongue experience 101 with Sophia. But yeah, but even that, it's still to this day, there's still issues with it. And I grew up my whole life, with all these orthodontic issues and whatnot. And to this day, I still have, chances are most of the time I have a lisp and I still have speech issues. And when I auditioned for Adelaide and when I auditioned for any other places, I think they are probably not going to take me because of my speech. And I didn't get accepted into Adelaide. And the first thing that pops into my head is, wow, it's because of the disability. And it's sad. It's sad.
That is really sad.
It is sad.
Because, like, again, I do hear the lisp.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's really, like, I never think that is about your tongue. I always think that's just you. That's just you. And it works for certain roles.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it is such a pain when people. Do you hate it when actors or like companies choose able actors over disabled actors?
100%.
Because there's always so many talented individuals who are disabled, and yes, they do get roles.
Yep.
But you're always feeling a bit like ticked off when you're like, that person doesn't have a disability; they're playing a disabled character.
Yep.
It sometimes hurts.
100%. Yeah, because it's like, look, we're literally all out here trying to get roles. We have like the same. We should have the same advantages as everyone else. Just because we're different, like we should still be cast.
Yeah, I never said I've had I've had troubles with my AFO when I've been cast and stuff. They've never really considered that. They've always been like happy with my performance.
Yeah.
And I think that's the more important thing. It's not the physicality. It's the performance that you give.
100%.
And that's one of the hard parts but always at the back of the head, it's always just like,
but what
why?
if?
Yeah, what if they don't cast me because I'm disabled?
Yeah,
which
100%.
Which sucks for like us.
Oh, yeah.
It's not too bad.
But it's not too bad. Like, you find your ways around it. Like, I'm at the point now where I've decided, you know what, I actually don't want to go to uni and study. I'm better off going to, there's a guy that I know who's, like, a specialist in, like, tongue, jaw, singing, vocal, like, literally just everything. He's done so much study on it. And I can literally I'm better off training with him.
Yeah.
And doing that kind of stuff, because if I go and study at uni, then chances are I'll be in a big group of people. No one's going to help me with my issues.
Yeah.
So.
And that's kind of the same. Like, I would say both our strong points are our voices.
Yeah.
And which is why I love voice acting so much, is because like it's focusing mainly on the vocal performance. You can be as like silly and ridiculous behind the mic as possible. Like, you don't even know what I'm doing right now, do you? We could be jumping up and down. We could be halfway across the world. I don't know.
We could be at the top of Mount Everest right now.
Yeah, we sure can, brother.
Howdy there, partner. You can tell we're both like voice acting.
Yeah, but I always think like, if there's something that we can always back on, it's like our vocal performances. Like physical 100%. Performances, it does limit, and I've learnt recently that I don't always have to wear my AFO during performances.
Yep.
Like, it just depends on what I'm doing. But I will always say my voice is my strong suit, and if my voice is just as strong as anything else.
Yep. Anyone else. Yep. And everyone has their own, different skills. No one's the same, and that's the whole point of acting. Yeah. If everyone was the same, it'd be boring.
If everyone's, because I would say when it came to some of my performances, like Rooster, that was a time where I had the sock, I think, less
Probably.
the AFO. That was the less of the time where I had a new AFO. I had like my orthotic sock.
Yeah.
But it did, like, you would see occasionally I would trip a little bit with the dance movements, but even in college when I did Pop Stars, I didn't really feel that because I think I had the AFO on.
Maybe. I wouldn't know.
No, because you didn't see
X-ray vision in today's college.
Yeah. But during that time, it's hard to imagine, especially since we're young.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find roles that
100%
with disabilities, but that doesn't stop us. That absolutely doesn't stop us.
No, doesn't.
But yeah, because you've had like going back to some of your roles you've played, I just want to know what has been your favorite performances you've ever done, like from the characters you've played, because like we've worked together so many times that I know the White Witch and Miss Hannigan have been your favorite, but like outside of that, I'm not too sure.
I do have a favorite. It's from the musical The Drowsy Chaperone. Ooh. You can watch that musical on YouTube. I just watched it like ages ago, but we did it for like my last year of acting school in our advanced diploma, and I got to play a gangster.
Oh.
But I was disguised as a pastry chef. It gets funnier. It gets worse.
Okay.
And we were called like the Tall Brothers, and it was me and the shortest dude in the class.
You're kidding. You're kidding, right?
No, I'm not kidding. It's such a good musical. You have to watch it. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. It's a full comedy and everything.
Oh my god. Okay, that's so
But yeah,
funny.
we full came out like our arms like like puffed up, we're like, yo, what's up, like that, with like a little bowl of like profiteroles in our hand, and like we had to do Brooklyn accents. So we're like, hey, how's it going over
Hey,
there?
how you doing, man? How's it going?
That's it.
You just can't. But like, if it wasn't a Brooklyn accent, I'm just imagining like, hey, how you doing, man? I got just.
I'm from Jamaica.
not just like big tough boy. Hey, I'm coming in. You want a
what's up?
pastry?
What's up?
Straight from the oven.
Would you like a profiterole?
Yeah. But yeah.
Like, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah, those experiences, the roles that you play, because like the film, even like you worked on True Purpose at AIE, and that was different as well. 'Cause was that your first on screen?
I think it was. I mean, like I've done like screen stuff at like my acting school, but that was the first probably time I'd been. Actually, no, second time I've been on set.
Ah.
I did go on.
But like that was an insane experience,
It was so good.
Because like we got to work with like the Volume, which if people don't know, it's the same technology that they use on The Mandalorian, they use in Star Trek Discovery, the Batman. It's a lot of insane like films are using this technology now.
That was crazy. Like I remember seeing it for the first time. I was like, "Whoa, that is massive!"
And have I told you that the technology that we used was the exact same one they used on Thor: Love and Thunder?
No way.
Yeah, it was the
What
exact
the heck?
same technology that they used on that film.
Let's go, camera. Come on, we're getting up there.
But like that whole experience was insane because I not only was I helping you as an actor, but I was also like your person in charge because I was the second AD on that shoot.
Yeah.
So I was basically like getting all these people, and I'm so happy you were on because like there was a couple of roles that you had. You were like the assist, like one of the support teams for.
Oh yeah, I got to put a blue hoodie on.
Yeah, those DC Harley Quinn blue hoodies.
I literally looked like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because I remember they had like, didn't they say DC on the back or something?
I think they did or something.
Yeah,
I think
they say DC on the back of them, but they were like so cool.
It was so good.
But like, I think when we watched it back, there is so much of like me on that. I'm like, there are so many other actors.
Yeah.
Why am I in like so many?
Why am I featuring? Come on
like,
now.
It's like there's so many times where I appear, and I'm just like, I don't want that. There's so many other people.
Yeah, but that's good though. Like that's good that you want to showcast other actors, and 100%.
Because again, I was working as crew as well. I didn't really. The only reason I wanted to become an actor to do that shoot because I was like, we're gonna need people, and I was like, this is gonna be the only opportunity this year I'm going to be able to be on screen.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah.
And I feel like as an actor though, if you step into those roles of like, you know, producer or AD or whatever, you can actually use that to get yourself into the industry.
And do you ever feel like you could write or that kind of stuff?
I write songs. I write like a little bit of rap, a little bit of other stuff. I've kind of grown up writing since I was 12, 13. I've never really fully written a song. Like I write bits here and there and I get lyrics come in my head and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a dream of mine to record and produce a song.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the opportunity now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, I think because we're getting closer to the end, I think what we're going to do now is actually give you the opportunity to perform a bit.
Heyo.
So, in case people are wondering, at the end of each episode, especially for the actors, I'm going to give them an opportunity to either perform a monologue or a duologue of their choice. They'll send me the suggestion for what they want to do, and I'll give them depending on how long it will be.
Yep.
So what we're going to actually do is
special today.
Yeah, we're going to be revisiting Edmund and the White Witch.
Hell yeah.
We have our old scripts from 2018.
Oh yeah.
And they
still highlighted.
All still highlighted, yeah. And we're going to just basically read one of the scenes between Edmund and the White Witch and see how, just...
Here comes the cold read, guys. It might be terrible.
Cold read, but it's also, again, giving you guys opportunities to show your talents as well.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah. If there's certain bits like stage actions, I'll read those as well.
Sweet.
All right.
All right.
So, shall we begin?
Let's go.
I've come, Your Majesty.
How dare you come alone? Did I not tell you to bring the others with you?
Please, Your Majesty, I've done the best I can. I brought them quite close. They're in a little house by the dam with Mr. and Mrs. Beaver.
Is this all your news?
No, Your Majesty. They're gonna meet Aslan at the Great Stone Table.
Aslan! Is this true? If you've lied to me...
No, it's true. Something about a prophecy? Wrong will be right, then Aslan will show his might. About Adam's flesh and Adam's bones sit on Care
Get my sled ready. The one without the bells.
Care Paravel. There we go. Okay. Your Majesty,
Silence, fool. Send the black vultures to see if anyone is at the beaver's cottage.
Please, Your Majesty, could I have some Turkish delight? You said...
Oh, be still.
But I'm so hungry and I've come so far.
Guess I can't have you fainting on the way. Bring the human creature some food and drink.
You certainly have a lot of statues here.
Just people who dared to doubt that I was queen. You might remember that.
Of course you're the queen, and I'm to be your prince.
You, my prince.
You promised.
Promised a worm like you.
But you said if the four of us...
You only came yourself. One isn't much use to me.
But if we capture the others...
We'll kill them.
Kill them?
Of course.
You'd kill my sisters and my brother.
Oh, Edmund, I wouldn't kill them. I'd just let them be statues a while with the other statues.
That's pretty good. It's definitely, again, if we were standing up, we would yell a lot more.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
The strong kind of like, oh, be still.
Yeah, that's right.
The aggression. Because I remember on
100%.
stage being like
Yelling.
Yeah. But again, that was a lot of fun.
That was so good.
And yeah, so thank you so much, Sophia, for joining, because that was a really good episode.
It was
Thank
so
you so
good.
much.
I'm so excited to be a part of this first episode.
Is there any places that people can find you on social media and all that?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm Sophia Bate _. So you can follow me along there if you want to follow my acting journey. I do like funny dance videos of me at home alone. When my parents leave me, I go wild. So yeah, you want to catch all the wild side of me, it's over there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you do in the future as well, because I hope that you keep doing like not only theatre stuff, but also are able to get auditions for film and
100%.
such.
Maybe I'll write a song one day. Maybe you guys will hear it.
Maybe we'll. Maybe we'll get you back someday as well.
Woo.
See how that goes.
Yeah, that's right. Another decade passed.
Yeah, see you all in 2020.
G'day.
2034.
G'day, folks. My name is Sophia. I'm 30 years old now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you, David. It's been so good.
Yeah, thank you. This has been fun. Yeah.
Cue outro.
The YoungStars Podcast was directed, produced, edited, and hosted by David Hatherly. Special thanks to The Shed for allowing us to use their studio to record these episodes. If you are interested in recording voiceover, music, or your very own podcast, then consider checking out The Shed on Facebook or via their website at theshed.org for more details. Thank you so much for listening to YoungStars, and until next time, stay creative. Bye!